Recipe I'm making today is a fried chicken masala. It's one of those recipes that if you are really in a rush and you need to make something quickly, you can do that, and it's just really tasty. And I usually make I'm not doing it today, but I usually will make a fresh naan to go with that. But it goes well with rice as well. So, anyways, I'm gonna get started here. So here I have two chicken breasts that I have cubed. I'm just going to put it in this bowl so it's easy to see. Okay. So here I have two chicken breasts that I've cubed like in about 1-inch cubes pieces. And then to that, I'm going to just put it aside. I'm going to show you what I'm going to put in there before I put it in there. So I have a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin that I've crushed. Can you see that? Okay. And then I have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You can use salt to your taste. I usually don't like it too salty, so I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon here. Ginger and garlic. So I use about 3/4 teaspoon of each. I have some red chili powder here. I use the Kashmiri red chili powder because it's really colorful but not very, very spicy. And my kids are not very spicy eaters, a lot of spicy eaters. And then I have 1 teaspoon of chaat masala here, which I use the Shan box. I don't make my own. So I use that. And I have a teaspoon of coriander seeds here that I've roasted. And I'm just going to show you how I crush them. Since I already crushed the cumin, but I left the coriander to show you. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Can you see this? So I have a paper towel here, and I just put the roasted coriander seeds in. I'm just going to use my rolling pin for my rotli, and I'm just going to crush it a little bit and make a little bit of noise. But I find that when you crush it like this, then you get a lot of fragrance, and it's really it really brings out the flavors of the spices that you put in there. So once you crush it, it's just kind of going to look like that. Let me put it in my hand. Maybe it's better to see that. So it's just going to be crushed. Okay, so now I have all the spices and ingredients, and I use the whole fat yogurt so that it doesn't water too much. And so I'm going to put all the ingredients together in here in this chicken, in this two chicken breasts. That was the coriander. This is the cumin, the salt, the pepper, the red chili pepper. Right. This is the chaat masala. I'm going to put the ginger and the garlic in here as well. And then I'm going to, this is about a cup of yogurt in here that I'm going to use. My kids always complain that I don't have strict measurements. I kind of go with what I feel is enough and looks good. So sometimes they are trying to follow a recipe to a T and it doesn't turn out quite so well. So I'm trying now to be better at having exact measurements, but that was about a cup of yogurt in there. I'm going to mix it all up. So as you can see, it's super, super easy. There's not a whole lot to it, but it tastes amazing once it's done. So let's just kind of mix this all up. So once it's all put together and it's nicely mixed, I usually marinate it for a couple of hours, and in the interest of time, and so you guys are not, waiting for 2 hours just for this to marinate, I prepared a batch last night, and I prepared a batch. I'm going to put this in the fridge, but I prepared a batch last night, and that's already marinated, so it just kind of soaks in all the flavor from the chicken. I mean from the yogurt and the spices. Sorry, into the chicken. So now what I'm going to do, and of course again, just so that we can save some time, I took this morning, I took a pot, 4 tablespoons of oil and 2 onions, nice finely, and I just browned it. So then now we're going to go to the stove and make the rest of this recipe. So I'm going to get the stove on about medium, about a medium heat. And like I said, I prepared this onion this morning. Just fried with about 4 tablespoons of oil, and 2. I use red onions because they are a little bit milder. I'll need that. And I just kind of got them to a golden brown. So in this, now that the onions are ready, I'm going to put some peppercorns. Like I just have a few peppercorns and a few cloves that I'm just going to put in there for flavoring. And let's get this to warm up a little bit. I just want it to be to start the spices to take on some heat. And I'm gonna have my chicken here that the one that I prepared last night. So it's all marinated and put all the flavor in there. So I'm gonna just give me a second. I think this is just getting warm. And I see the I like to use a cast iron pot because they are very heavy, and things tend to not burn in there, but you can get a good heat in on it. So now that this is warm, I'm going to put the chicken in there, all of it. Mix this up. And I'm going to just put a little bit of water in here to scrape all the spices off. So just scrape all the spices off here. And I don't like to lose any of my good spices. Lots of flavor in there. And you won't need like just enough water to scrape the spices, and you won't need any more water since the chicken will release water on its own. And like I said, in this cast iron pots, you can cook with very little water and it still doesn't burn, but it cooks really well. So I'm going to let this cook here, and then before we put the top on it, or at least get the for it to start cooking, I'm going to show you one more thing before we head over to the yasin, as to what I'm going to need for this recipe that I need to prepare now. Can you see this charcoal? Can you see this charcoal here? So I'm going to turn this charcoal on, like the stove on, and it will take a few minutes for the charcoal to light. But I just I will need this once the chicken is ready. So I'm just going to leave it on low heat here for the charcoal to light itself, and then we'll use the charcoal when the chicken is ready. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cover the pot, and we can go and read the yasin while this chicken is cooking, and I'll have the ingredients for the salad. I'll get them ready so that when we come back, we can continue with the salad, and then by then the chicken will be ready, and then we can do the last 5 minutes of chicken to put the smokiness in there. Okay? So I'm just going to put the lid back on here. I noticed that for me it takes about 20 minutes, the kind of size of pieces that I make. Okay. Then it takes about 20 to 25 minutes for the chicken to be cooked. Smoke the chicken, and you need the charcoal at that time. But I'm just going to do it. I just started it now so that it's ready when we're ready to smoke it. I think I might have taken a little bit too long here. So I might have gone a little bit overboard in my heat, but I think we saved most of it. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this thing off. Here I have some garam masala here that I'm just going to sprinkle over it, and I'm going to put a little bit of, this is lemon I'm using today here, and a little bit of lemon, just like maybe a quarter of a lemon. Yes. And then here is the charcoal that I was going to use. So this is, I prepared a bowl, like I just take any bowl like that, and I'll put a foil wrap on it, just a little piece of foil. And now that I have my charcoal ready, I'm gonna put the charcoal inside the foil so that it's doesn't touch the food or anything like that. So I'll put this thing right in the pot. I have about a tablespoon of oil that I'm using today, and I'm just gonna pour it over the charcoal, and you see the smoking, and I'm just gonna cover it for maybe a minute or two to get I can smell it in the house. Oh my God, it smells so good. That's enough. It depends how much smoky you want. Like, you see this smokiness? All the smoke coming out of here, so that your food will be now quite smoky. And then I'll just take this out, and I'm just going to stir this around. And I'll put it in a bowl, and then I'll put some coriander over it. So that should be the end of it. That should be ready. So I'm just going to put this in a bowl. You can see I've just got a little bit sticking here because I think I left it a little bit too long. So here we have the chicken is ready. I am going to just bring it over there and then put some coriander over it. Today our dinner is already ready. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some coriander over it, fresh from the garden. And then salad beside it. So this will be our meal today, and I don't know